let's get this out of the way. Slideshow. Hello there, Professor Scasso. My name is Dylan Todd. Today I'd like to present on something I call the conundrum of green theory. First, I'll start with a little bit of background. Our situation here. In the 1970s, the world began to wake up to the global consequences of our actions. Humanity, for hundreds of years, has been actively poisoning and heating up our planet, and the increased consumption of fuel and use of various other chemicals is rapidly degrading our atmosphere and doing damage to the environment. We were doing a dangerous act of unbalancing things. As we used up more resources and polluted, we were cutting down and destroying the very things that could slow down or counteract the effects of what we were doing. We're throwing the entire natural balance completely out of balance. The first world, or the global north, however you prefer to say it, has been given advantages in many aspects. This is well known. But development is another key area where we have a massive advantage over the global south. We got to develop and progress as a society before we became so concerned with the damage we were doing to the environment. We didn't have any international organizations telling us to slow down or restrict the use of resources. No one was breathing down our necks as we developed. As we fully develop, most of the global south now finds itself at a stark disadvantage. As moving into the modern era, they are trying to catch up to the global north and join the club as a developed country, but are finding it harder to locate the necessary resources to fuel their development. Mentioned outside sources, more developed countries and international organizations are now restricting the use and becoming more concerned with their consumption of resources. So here's the conundrum. On one hand, we do need to stop the damage being done to our environment. We are racing towards destruction, stronger storms at a more frequent rate, higher death tolls, longer droughts, exacerbated weather patterns. It's gotten so bad to the point we are virtually nearing ecosystemic collapse. It's something like the Atlantic Ocean currents, as I made sure to get a diagram of here, that bring cold water towards the equator and keep Earth's oceans in check collapses. It'll be catastrophic to the entire world. You would see temperatures plunge all across Europe by several degrees Celsius. And, we're Americans, we use Fahrenheit. Celsius, multiple degrees, bad thing. Rainfall patterns would radically shift, and the potential resulting ecosystem collapses would put the same third world countries that are trying to develop into a famine, as the fish they rely on for sustenance melt away. On the flip side, if the global north enforces rules on what materials the global south can use, we have the same stagnated development cycle, where the global south can't get ahead of the curve. They can never continue fully developing. So it's an unfair advantage for the global north, and the global south has no way to break the chain. My best attempt at an answer, and I emphasize attempt. To fix this complicated situation, it's not going to be a simple answer. And as a matter of fact, the reason it hasn't been taken care of is because it's a massively expensive undertaking to try and begin tackling this mess of a situation that we've gotten ourselves into here. I believe the first step is massively investing in renewable energy. Solar, hydro, wind, and yes, even nuclear energy to meet the needs of a growing population of developing countries without just continuing to rely on fossil fuels as the backbone of the economy. We can't continue just burning away mass amounts of fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, etc. We need to transition away from these types of these energy sources. We need to work on restoring and preventing valuable ecosystems on a global scale in every country. If a developing country needs access to a resource provided, it should be the role of developed countries and international organizations that we work so hard to create to either cut down the use for that material or find a suitable alternative for that material. For example, cut back on the demand for wood from Brazil to stop the destruction of the Amazon rainforest, which is an incredible rate of deforestation currently. Um, and this last thing I wanted to touch on here, I guess it kind of goes in hand with step one, but developed countries need to step it up when it comes to supporting and assisting underdeveloped countries with technological advancements to strengthen and make their economies and industries, excuse me. Sorry, I have my retainer in. I'm messing up my pronunciation a lot. More resilient. We need to improve their economies and make their industries more resilient. Rest in peace, USAID. But thank you very much. That was my presentation. I'm going to be honest, I primarily used your paper as the one main source. Excellent writing, by the way, of course.